I think
A recent citizens' convention on extractives. Leaders of artisanal miners air out bottlenecks which they say are suffocating the would-be primary beneficiaries of the mining sector. They also blame policymakers for leaving them out of the formulation of sector laws.
And the regulations makes it very, very impossible for an artisanal miner to get a mining license. Because the requirements that are put for a large-scale miner to get a license are the same requirements that are put for an artisanal miner. For example, an artisanal miner who is trying to process an artisanal mining permit is required to have an environmental impact assessment certificate, which is very expensive to get. The consultants will charge you over $10,000, and the NEMA offices are not accessible. You can never access any senior NEMA officers at the NEMA offices, even when you have an issue.
But it appears the regulatory issues of artisanal miners are deep-seated and go far beyond just regulations, but the structure of the regulation itself, according to Dr. Frank Mujenyi, the Chief Executive, Minerals Africa Development Institution.
Let's talk about the ASM licensing process. Currently, the current law that was enacted last year, this year rather, is not a developmental law for ASM. I support the law, but the definitions that were put there to define who is an ASM based on artisanal using shovel does not allow the artisan to progress to the next level. You need to define an ASM based on the turnover. How much do I mine? Even if I use the tractor or grader or whatever, if I mine 10 tons of gold per year, can I have tax incentive for me to grow? I want to grow and become a member of the Chamber of Mines. I want to grow and become an exporter. I don't want affirmative action because mining is business.
Available government data shows total revenue streams from extractives amounted to more than 241 billion shillings in the financial year 2020-21. Money collected by the Uganda Revenue Authority accounted for 95.72% of total revenue generated by the sector.
The mineral sector particularly is very closed. It's opaque, so we don't understand how the investors are coming in and what they are doing, but also most importantly, we don't understand how much they are producing and where they are paying the right money to Uganda in form of taxes or royalties or whatever monies they are supposed to be paying. So studies have indicated that Africa loses a lot of money in terms of illicit financial flows. And if you look at Uganda's Auditor General's report, they're also indicating that there are very many discrepancies between what is produced and what is imported and what is exported. So we know that if the mining sector is not regulated as it is now, a lot of money from gold trade and gold dealings is going to end up or continue ending up in overseas without benefiting us.
There's a general consensus that while Uganda's extractive sector is evolving from small-scale and artisanal mining to large-scale industry, the transition is limiting participation of small players, including host communities, exposing them to disputes and related unfair practice by the state and investors. Malcolm Musime, NTV Business.